Lisa and Mark, it's so good to see you tonight. Thanks again for being here. Um, so I just want to see if I can summarize what we last talked about. It sounded like, Lisa, you were very frustrated, feeling unheard by your dad. And um, Mark, it felt like you were very worried about Lisa's drug use. Do I have that correct? Is there anything either of you would like to add to that?
Yeah, like I feel like, dad doesn't listen, and like the only time he talks to me is like when I'm doing something wrong. Like he doesn't just ask me like how I'm doing, and he only like tends to focus on the bad stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like Lisa is she's not thinking about other people or her future. She's just acting out and, getting in fights, staying out past curfew and just not listening either, to our rules and just doing whatever she wants. And yeah.
Well, that's really interesting because I've heard you both kind of blame each other, but it sounds like there's a common problem here. I just heard you both say lack of listening is the problem.
Mhm.
Not really you as people. It's problem is the problem, which is the lack of listening. I wonder, let's think about times when you felt like you got heard by each other. Can you think of a time when you felt like you were heard by each other?
I feel like dad listens to me like if there's something to do with like my little brother, like oh like he's hungry or like oh he needs that, like dad will listen if it has to do with him.
Okay. You feel like when you hear that, Mark, that Lisa's being helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And yeah, when she helps with her brother and listens to me, or, when she thinks I'm listening.
Okay. So it's great that we see this positive example where when you're being helpful, Lisa, you feel like dad is listening to you then. That's
Yeah.
when you feel listened to. Okay. How about you, Mark? Can you think of a time?
I feel like Lisa most listens to me when she wants something from me, like extended curfew or whatever. And I, try to say if you can get some things done or whatever, that's when she actually listens and most of the time gets it done. But it's usually if she wants something from me, permission, I should say. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I'm also hearing here is I feel like, Lisa, you're asking for more positives in your life. Sometimes we do turn to extrinsic rewards, like and adults, we do this all the time, right? I reward myself regularly. I think this is something we do want, extrinsic rewards. I think that's natural. But I feel like I'm hearing lots of, you said, I only hear about the bad things. He only talks to me about what's going wrong. So I feel like you're craving positive things. And there's some actually really interesting research that has been done that we need to hear for every constructive criticism that we receive from someone. We need to hear like 5 positive things to feel good, because we tend to hold on to those things that feel negative. And so we need a kind of a flood of positivity. And so that's what I'm hearing, Lisa. Do I hear that correctly, that you would like more positive things?
Yeah.
Mm.
So what are some ways? It sounds like, Mark, you really appreciate it when Lisa's being helpful, and Lisa feels like she wants to be seen and heard for what she does right. Do you have like any kind of chore schedule set up, or ways that are kind of like a regular habit of being productive and really joining as a family and doing that kind of work together?
I want to say we did when they were younger, the kids, but not since, high school and probably even middle school. I feel like things, with mom's schedule and my schedule getting um, turned around and so strict on our time with them, and time apart from them, I feel like we should kind of let that aspect go.
Okay. So what do you think, Lisa? Would you want to like maybe do some other extra chores around the house, help out dad and you know, earn some, I'm not sure, money, time? What it might look like in terms of what you earn.
Yeah.
Would that be
sounds fun.
helpful to you, Mark? And do you think that might help? I think I really appreciate what I'm seeing from you, Mark, right now, that you're listening
Mm-hmm.
to Lisa. I think, do you feel more heard, Lisa, by this conversation?
Yeah, I think like I think it's hard because dad only talks to me like, when I'm doing something bad, and it's like, oh, I have to be doing something that he thinks is worthwhile
Okay,
to be like appreciated or like
okay,
talked to in a nice way.
okay. Well, that's that. Thank you, because maybe I was making a mistake here. I think it might be helpful then to say, maybe we do things where you get positive attention, there's no strings attached. Maybe you have like a weekly meeting, a weekly family dinner where you get to like share what you need to share. Not like just here in this space, but an extra time during the week with you and dad, like having that opportunity.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of getting to talk with her without kind of those strings attached of like, you did a good job, so here's my attention. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe, and maybe you can keep that research in your mind, Mark, when you're having this conversation, trying to make sure it's positive, trying to really focus on the ways that you're connecting, thinking about the problem really isn't Lisa, right?
Mhm.
It's the lack of listening, or maybe we could even say the lack of communication that's maybe been going on. We've done some practice here, but maybe we can add that weekly dinner and meeting that you have. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it
Mhm.
sounds nice.
Cool. So we'll talk about more about that next week and see how it went. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.